Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Tom with Capo Fetish. Today I'm going to list my 15 favorite Stones ballads. There are many to choose from. I think I had about 25 initially picked, but I just narrowed it down to 15. They're all awesome. So I'm going to mention a few honorable mentions. Wild Horses, Beast of Burden, Factory Girl, Faraway Eyes, Heart of Stone, I Am Waiting, Time Waits for No One, Till the Next Goodbye, and Sweet Black Angel and Memory Hotel. Those are all honorable mentions here. Now I'm going to get into my top 15. These are the ones that resonate with me the most. I always thought the Stones were really underrated or never really talked about as far as their ballads. I think their ballads are absolutely stellar. Most of them, actually. So let's start. At number 15, I've got one of their first country tinged numbers, Dead Flowers. Has a nice pedal steel guitar, has those honky tonk, broken down lyrics. And this is my number 15, Dead Flowers off Sticky Fingers, 1971. My number 2 is kind of an odd choice, but I've always liked this because it just doesn't really sound like the Stones. It's a song called Sad Day, the flip side of the 19th Nervous Breakdown single. It has this really cool little piano flourish in it. Sounds kind of like Left Bank to me. It doesn't really sound Stonesy at all. It's very poppy, but really cool kind of ballad, slow. And you can find it too on the singles box set here in disc 2. So that's my number 14, Sad Day by the Stones from 66. Number 13, this has always been a number I've always loved, of Satanic Majesty's Request, a song called The Lantern. The whole album, they're trying to do like their whole psych thing, but that song really has a real cool, dark, mellow psych vibe. The Lantern is my number 13 of favorite Stones ballads, 1967. I'm gonna go to 1973's Goat's Head Soup, the song Winter. It's my number 12. I think it's on side 2, and it just has a nice flow to it. By the way, this is a really underrated album in my opinion in the Stones canon. I know Rolling Stone used to trash it, give it like a 1 star. I mean, hardly. I mean, how about like more like a 3.5, 4 star? A lot of great material on here. I think the fact that it came out after Exile on Main Street, it's always judged unfairly, but a lot of great songs on here. Winter, great ballad. That's my number 12 Stones ballad. And then at number 11, we've got the title track of Let It Bleed, another country type tinge number by the Stones. I always love their country tunes like Faraway Eyes and Sweet Virginia. But this will be my number 11 from Let It Bleed, 1969's Let It Bleed title track, number 11. Then going back to Sticky Fingers, I've got one of their most soulful ballads, probably one of Mick's best vocals too. I mean, he really gives it his all. And this would be my number 10 of favorite Stones ballads. There's a really cool Hammond organ that comes in kind of towards the end, and just great song. I Got the Blues, number 10. Coming at number 9, got an early Stones cut off Out of Our Heads. Always Loved Play with Fire. Has that kind of echoey, kind of acoustic vibe. I think there's a little bit of echo tambourine in there, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. But I love Play with Fire. First time I ever heard it was on the Hot Rocks album years ago. But Play with Fire, number 9, Stones' favorite ballads. My favorite ballads. Number 8 has always been a favorite too. Sitting on a Fence off Flowers, recorded in 66. You got Keith and Brian on guitars, dueling guitars. Just a really underrated tune. It never really was on an official album. This is the only album I think it was on. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, this is a great album, even though it's a compilation too. But I love Sitting on a Fence, and that's my number 8. This is off the Flowers album from 1967. And then We've got Sweet Virginia, number 7, kicking off side 2 of Exile on Main Street. And that is definitely a nice country tinge number, one I've always loved. Probably my favorite of all their country tinge numbers. Sweet Virginia off Exile on Main Street, number 7. Number 6, we got the Keith song, You Got the Silver. Second track on side 2. Always love this tune. There's another version of this track I've heard with Mick singing the vocal, but for some reason it's not as effective as Keith. I think this song was made for Keith. So You Got the Silver is my number 6 Stones ballad from Let It Bleed. Okay, and number 5 would be Salt of the Earth, the final track on Beggar's Banquet. Really great tune with a little gospel choir in the background. Great way to end this record. It's such an awesome record, you know, and a perfect ending with Salt of the Earth. So that's my number 5. And another one off the Flowers record that has always been a favorite ballad, Stones ballad for me, is Backstreet Girl. It was also originally on the UK pressing of Between the Buttons, but not on the American. This is how I first heard it, was on Flowers. I love Backstreet Girls. The lyrics are brutal, but the melody's so pretty. And then one of my absolute favorites, this comes in at number 3, the flip side of Jumpin' Jack Flash single, Child of the Moon. Such a great tune. Such a great tune. This is kind of like the returning to the roots a little bit. You know, more like acoustic, country-ish. Fantastic. It would have fit perfect on Beggar's Banquet, but this is just a killer single. One of the best A and B sides ever. Jumpin' Jack Flash. So Child of the Moon comes at number 3 for me on my favorite Stones ballads list. And my last 2, folks. Number 2 has got to be Moonlit Mile. Such an amazing track. Ends the whole album on such a pretty note. And there's strings in there, and then it goes on a little bit at the end with no vocals and just kind of fades out really quiet. It's just gorgeous. Moonlit Mile off of Sticky Fingers, number 2. And my all-time favorite Stones ballad of all time is No Expectations off Beggar's Banquet. It's track number 2. It has one of Brian Jones' last appearances, and he plays this killer slide guitar. What a way to go out, Brian. So that's it. That's my favorite 15 favorite Stones ballads. Which ones are yours? I'm curious. Please press subscribe. Have a nice day, and we'll see you soon, folks. Bye.